Welcome back to Before the Millions. Man, I got me a superstar with me today.
Hey.
This is it's amazing. I really want to say I appreciate you, bro, for this opportunity.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you.
100%, bro. It's kind of a 360 moment that's going on right now, bro, because you're someone that I've seen. First time I've seen you was on Kountry Wayne.
Hey.
I love Kountry Wayne's content, bro.
Hell yeah.
There was a point where I was watching him every day, and I just love the fact that he was dropping every day. And I was like, bro, I was following along with the skits. I'm like, this is like a whole TV show, and that's when I see you on the podcast. First place I see you, seeing you on BMF, and I started to see you in mad different movies, different shows. I'm like, yo, this is someone that's really, hustling. And when I had the opportunity to reach out to you when I got connected through Paul, I said, it was no question at all. I was like, yo, he sent me an Instagram. I said, oh yeah, I need him. Reached out, and you were the first person to reach back. And it was like same day, bro. I don't even know if it was a 4 hour. Reached right back out. I'm like, yo, this is, he's humble. He's a great person, and he's just ready to work.
Hey, appreciate that, bro.
I appreciate it real quick. So for the people, go ahead that don't know you, what's your name? What do you do? Let's get into it.
What's good, y'all? My name is Rashad James. I'm an actor. What else have I been doing? A few things. I'm an actor, casting director for the Kountry Wayne skits. I'm actually an actor in the Kountry Wayne skits. What else? I'm a community leader here in Atlanta for actors. I throw events and panels for other actors to level up and get them to a point where I'm at or further than me. What else do I do? I'm a spiritualist, herbalist, all of that. I do a lot.
Yes, sir. Sir. Man, I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and start, at the Kountry Wayne. How did that come about?
How did the Kountry Wayne come about? There was a moment where I was working on a TV show called Dynasty on Netflix. And when I was working on there was a girl named, my business partner, her name is Sarah. She was actually one of the first actors to ever work with Kountry Wayne. And so she had asked me, she's like, hey, what's going on? Do you want to get this role on the Kountry Wayne skits? But I actually didn't really know who Kountry Wayne was at this time. But I was like, I see she's getting a lot of, shine and stuff like this. I'm like, I can't right now because I'm working on this TV show. So then she was like, okay, good. That's all good. We'll find somebody else. So then fast forward, I'm seeing how big he is. Like, he's really like a household name. He's really doing it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, damn, I should have took that opportunity at the time. Damn. But there was no way I could. And so then my boy, Mike Bless, he's another actor here in Atlanta. He's one of the leads on the Kountry Wayne skits. He's the executive producer.
Okay.
One day I was doing an audition with him for another TV show, and he just was blown away by the performance. He was like, bro, you killed that. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna put you in the Kountry Wayne skits. I'm like, damn, for real?
That's crazy.
And so then, so that opportunity came back around, and he put me in the skits. It was very different for me because it's Kountry Wayne skits are improv.
Yeah.
It's not a script, and you can't be in your head. It's just you just gotta be quick on your feet with it. So it was a little bit of an adjustment for me for the type of style of acting I was doing, and so I got in the skits, and then I go out in public. Everybody screaming my name, like, Rashal, that you? I'm like, and I'm scared. I'm like, what the fuck? How they know me? How the fuck? And so, that was that.
That's amazing, man. There's a couple of things I want to point out in that. Number one, it's just a testimony to what's meant for you is going to come.
It's going to come.
It's going to come. And I say it a lot, I truly believe there's certain things that we put our hands, we put together and we work for and we get results. And there's certain things that, God or whoever you believe in, it's just meant for you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. And a lot of times we may get in our own way, and not even know.
That's facts.
We may get in our own way. We may choose this opportunity over another opportunity simply because, I don't really know who that is. Like say you didn't know who Kountry Wayne was at the time, you probably would have been like, let me figure out a way to make this happen. If I got to juggle 2 shows at the same time just to be able to get this opportunity, I'll do it. But not even knowing, you're just like, you know what, I'm going to just keep focusing on what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
But again, it was meant for you.
It was meant for me.
So the fact that it came back around, it just proves that, it just shows that. And another thing I want to attest to is, it's not like you knew it was going to come back around. It's not like you were like,
no, I didn't know it was going to come back around at all. Like there was no, but I really couldn't control the situation. Like when you're on set, when you're on a film set, you really don't know when you're getting off. You don't know, and you can't just leave. You can't be like, you can't do that. So, even if I didn't know, since I didn't know who he was, but I still would have done it because every opportunity I'm grateful for. Yeah. But, and then, since I have a platform in Atlanta where I help actors, I lift them up. They were like, "Hey, Rashal, would you like to be the casting director as well for the Kountry Wayne skits?" So then I use the network of actors and I help put them on and give other opportunities to other actors on the skits as well.
That's amazing. And that's number one, is genius, because you're already finding what you already love acting. It's a gift and it's a talent that you have, and you found multiple ways to multiple branches of how you can continue to spread your gift and use your gift. And you doing that, being a blessing unto others, uplifting other actors, trying to put them in a better position, did better for you too by giving you that type of opportunity.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love to point these certain things out. I like to hear these stories. And so, a lot of these principles and a lot of these things that, we're discussing today, it's going to impact and it's going to affect people regardless if you're an actor, regardless of whatever field you're in. Some of these principles, they work in both ways. And one thing I do want to touch is, how did acting start from you? Where did that come from?
How did acting start?
Yeah.
So before being an actor, I actually was a rapper. So I was a rapper. I was actually very talented at it. Things were moving. I was catching a little bit of a buzz. But then in 2015, I had like a sudden spiritual awakening where I literally became another person overnight. My whole personality, everything shifted overnight from this spiritual, supernatural event. And so making music no longer resonated with me because I didn't know how to make music from a place of happiness, because I only made music from pain and just like my environment from where I was from. And so I'm like, I still had that feeling inside of me that I'm supposed to be big and major and do something and be influential to humanity and to people. And I still was very creative. I'm naturally born a creative individual. So that never left me. And one day in 2015, I came to Atlanta to visit my little sister. And in that year, we went to a restaurant called like R.A. Sushi, Raw Sushi.
Okay.
And so I seen an actor named Clifton Powell. He played Pinky on Friday. And,
okay.
He's from DC actually.
Oh.
Yeah, he's an actor from DC. And so I seen him and I'm like, I always have loved cinema. I've always loved film. I've just always loved it. And I always felt like even after I became a rapper, I always had a feeling that I would have transferred to TV and film after my after rapping just expired.
Right.
And so before I even talk about the Clifton Powell situation, I was when I was living in Maryland, after this transformation I had, everybody I would be meeting at my job or just in the streets, they'd be like, damn, bro, you don't look regular. Like, you don't look normal. I feel like you need to be on television somewhere. You need to be on a movie. Or they're like, what are you doing working here? That amazing voice. What are you doing here? You don't fit here. And people every day just was telling me I need to be on TV. And I'm like, TV for real? I was like, God, is that you telling me? Because it would actually hurt my feelings, because I'm like, damn, I feel trapped in this box and I don't know what I need to be doing right now. So it would hurt my feelings every time somebody would tell me how great and amazing they would see me and where I need to be. So I came to Atlanta and I seen Clifton Powell, and then that's when I walked up to him and I'm like, hey, excuse me, I'm a fan of yours. If I can, would I be able to speak to you for a little bit? And he didn't want to talk to me. So, but he was with somebody else. And the person was like, I'm gonna make sure he comes over to your table to talk to you. And so we're eating our food, we're eating the sushi. And then Clifton Powell comes over to the table. He really comes over. And I'm like, he was like, so what you want to talk about? I'm like, what's good? My name is Rashal. I'm an actor and I want to be a rapper. He was like, well, stop right there. You're confusing me already. He was like, are you a rapper or are you an actor? He was like, you got to come to people like that. You got to be clear and concise of what you want to be and who you are. And I was like, well, I want to be an actor. Do you have any tips on what I should do to get myself started? And he was like, well, first of all, you got to move to a city where things are happening. You got to move to a city where, acting is popping. So Atlanta, whether that's Atlanta, New York, LA, you got to find a place to go like that. And then things will work out for you once you do that. And that was all the advice he gave me.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like, well, I got to move to Atlanta. And Atlanta was the most affordable place for me at the time and cheap. So ended up coming to Atlanta. And literally like a year later, and the first day I get there, there's a film crew and they're filming something. I just walk up to them like, excuse me, y'all, I was wondering if I can be on this project. And they're laughing at me. They're like, it don't work like that. You got to have materials. You got to have a headshot. You got to audition. You can't just do that. But then the director was like, you know what? Get his information, get his number. And so they took my number down and stuff like that. They called me like a few hours later. It was like, hey, one of the lead actors just quit. Can you do it? And I'm like, hell yeah, I can do it. This is the first day. Literally, as soon as I get to Atlanta. And so that's when I get there. I get to the set. I do my job and everything like that. They love my look and everything. But I'm meeting other actors on set. They're telling me where to go for school so I can train myself to get better, classes, all of these things. And from there, that's when everything just started to make sense. I went to the classes that the actors on the set told me about. I stayed down like that. I start training. And then that's whenever I created a community of actors, I created a business called the Atlanta Actors Collective. And like I said, that's where I throw panels and events for other actors and I help lift other actors up, because when I started my career, I would have liked that for myself, where somebody who could help me get signed to an agency and things like that. And surprisingly, Clifton Powell, he started to interact with this page and it became a huge thing in the Southeast. It's like one of the biggest resources for Atlanta right now. And so Clifton Powell's like, hey, I want to do an event with y'all, da, 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 da. And so Clifton Powell finally sees me in person after a few years later down the road. And he was like, this is you? You're behind this? And he just cried. He was like, I'm like, I came down here because of you. And things just worked out. It was like a full circle moment that I met back up with him. And yeah.
Nah, that's huge, bro. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
Something I want to point out is the fact that you wanted something. You were searching for the answer. You randomly stumbled across somebody in a restaurant, unplanned. You got vulnerable, and you were able to talk and take that risk. And you got the piece of advice you needed. And it's crazy. All he told you was to move to Atlanta and everything will work out. 99% of people would hear that and be like, what's wrong with this guy, bro? I'm asking for real tangible advice. You're talking about move to Atlanta. I don't got no money. I don't got this. I don't got no connections. What I'm going to do, I don't know nobody there. They're going to think of a million reasons of why it can't happen. Literally, he says move to Atlanta. You're like, okay, I need to figure out a way to make this work. And you asked for it. You asked for the blessing. It came right to your doorstep. And you opened that package up and you actually took the step.
Facts.
Came down here. Seen another opportunity. Went right on it. Went right on it. And that opened more doors for you. Now you got doors open and okay, y'all said I got to do this. I'm gonna follow the directions. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Created a platform for other actors, and it's just how everything plays out. And I just want to point out the fact that I can see the trend. Every single time you're looking for something, and you get what you need, you're going right after it.
Yes.
You're going right after it. Okay, this is what I need to do. Bet I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And look where it's taking you.
Thank you, God.
You know what I'm saying? That's all we could say.
That's all we can say. And but when I'm telling you, whenever the messages from God were so strong in those moments prior to coming to Atlanta, it was just like, I'm telling you, I can't make it up. Every day it will be somebody telling me I need to be on TV. And I'm like, okay, so I would say that when I met Clifton Powell, for me in that moment, it was just like, whoa, it's just meant to be.
Yeah.
So when God gives you those divine nudges and those signs, you have to run with it. You gotta just follow it. It's for a reason. Don't let nothing, it's for a reason. It's God's powerful.
Yeah, for real. And it's scary. You may not know, again, what you're gonna do, but like we were just saying, moving with faith, right? Moving with faith, and also believing in yourself.
Believing in yourself.
Because it's so cliche. People say it all the time. Oh, just believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself. But it's really like, in order for you to be able to take a risk and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And it's crazy because if you were to go ask everyone around you, if you were to go get, a consensus from the whole world, whether you should make this decision or not, you're not gonna ever move.
Yep.
Because, and that's why for me, I'm very careful with the people that I tell information to or people that I ask advice from, because a lot of times when you ask advice from people that, number one, have never been in a situation or a position of where you want to get to, how can they possibly know the answer?
They can't tell you. To everybody who 95% of people that I ever told I'm coming to Atlanta to become an actor shut me down and said, bro, do not do that. That's not going to work. You absolutely will not make it. The only person who believed in me that it was going to work was my mother. Like, she was very supportive. She, when I didn't have the funds, she invested into my career and everything. Like, she knew that I was going to become something in that field. But, everybody shut that down. They was like, bro, are you out of your mind?
Of course.
So
they can't picture, because at the end of the day, when you ask someone a question, it's natural. They are gonna look at themselves first and picture if they can do it. If they can't picture themselves doing it, then they may look at you if they know you as a go-getter. Then they be like, you know what? You're a go-getter, maybe you can do it. But most people, they'll look at you and look at what you've done in the past and be like, bruh, you can't do that, bro.
You can't do that.
And they're going off of the past information. They don't know what's inside of you. They don't know what your purpose is. You know what I'm saying? They may not even have the best interest at heart for you.
Yep.
And you may not know that. So it's super important, man. It's, I've learned that, a lot of the blessings that you got or the ideas you got, you have to really learn to keep them to yourself.
You do. And I'm still working on that. I'm
100%.
still working on 100%. That. It's not, I feel like I've actually lost roles and lost certain opportunities were taken away from me because I was so elated. I was so happy. And these were like, for example, I got cast in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Ooh.
I was super excited. It was the best day one of my best days of my life. I'll never forget it when my agent told me, bro, you got cast in the Guardians of the Galaxy. I told a lot of people in my community about this. And my responses were always dry, not happy for me. Just, I could feel like the energy was and it was like, damn, it was hurting me. And I get to set, and I went through fight training and everything for this role. And then I found out that the costume designer had COVID. And basically Disney called me and they're like, how long were you around the costume designer for? I'm like, probably like 30 minutes. And it's like, that's too long. Anything over 15 minutes, you got to quarantine. So they're like, we need you to quarantine for 10 days. Then my agent calls me next and was like, bro, it's not looking good. They have to recast you because of COVID. And I'm like, well, they don't even want to test me or nothing. I don't even got. They didn't care. There was like any exposure to it. And so that's an example of how I lost something. But I feel like if I would have kept that sacredly to myself, there wouldn't have been those type of attacks and stuff like that on it. So you do. I'm starting to believe you really do got to keep things to yourself.
Bro, it's crazy you say that, bro, because I truly believe that when you do, especially when things are like blessings like that, it's like an egg, right? Or like a flower growing, or even a tree. And at the end of the day, when it's small and it's growing, it's most fragile. Right? It's not stone. It's not set in stone yet. When you tell people if they have bad energy, they may not mean to do it. But if you really believe in spirituality, or you just believe that side of the world, you understand that negative energy can literally mess up that blessing that's cooking up. It can literally destroy that opportunity that's cooking up, bro.
That's fucked up. Damn.
It's so sick.
Damn. But that's real. I believe it now. I
can't tell you how many opportunities that I thought was set in stone that I want to go tell people, and it just every time there actually hasn't been a time where I've seen something cooking up and I told the world and it still worked out. There hasn't been a time, bro.
Damn.
And I had to learn that. It's to the point, bro, honestly, it could be with every little thing. Even something like a girl. Let's say there's a girl that I like and I finally bagged and I'm telling my friends, oh yeah, da-da-da-da. For some reason, it just never works out. It never, like, it's just like, I never, like, opportunities, jobs, supposed to do something, like things that are, it's just never. But the things that I keep sacred, and I feel like if you learn the right people to tell things to and they're supportive and good energy comes from it, it won't taint your blessing, right?
Sometimes I feel like a lot of people are good at hiding that they're jealous and stuff like that. So it's hard to discern. At this point, I really only tell my mom now. Like, cause I'm like, my mom, her energy is always genuine. There's no way she can't be happy for me. But I feel like this is the reasons why they say it's lonely at the top. And these are the reasons why they say there's really no friends in the game. There's no friends in the industry that you are in, because all of these people believe in themselves. All of these people think that they should be, have these opportunities. So the thing is, it's hard to get into these environments with other people that are doing with what you're doing. And you have to like really protect yourself in those environments, and you got to make sure that you're showing your magic in front of magical people. Like, these people are also, so sometimes you might second guess, like, damn, I might not be good enough. Because such and such is such a talented actor. This person's so talented. So now I'm getting tricked out of my position, thinking that this isn't for me anymore. So when you have that calling, you still got to keep strong, even if you're around, because there's so many people that are more talented than me and they're better actors, but they're not where I'm at right now. And that's just because my calling is just what it is. Like, it's just what I have inside of me. And I sucked in the beginning as being an actor, but I just keep working at it. And I just get blessed. I don't know. God just wants me in a position like this. I don't know.
That's amazing. One thing I do want to touch too is, from the looks of it, certain people may look at your situation like that's a Cinderella story. Like, dang, someone just told you to move land and you just moved and you just happen to get a role. There's certain people that move to cities like this and it's a year, 2 years, 3 years. They haven't got nothing of substance. They haven't got no real opportunity. But I know it wasn't as sweet. I know good and well it was not sweet like that. I know there was tough times. I know there was hard times. Share, like, what was some of the hard times that you faced? How did you overcome it? I'm really big on talking about the hard times after you already overcame it, because there may be people going through the exact same situation.
So when it came to acting, I would say that the tough times were, of course, I had to work a regular job. So I had to work a regular job. The tough things in those moments were I feel like I'm in the field now. I'm amongst people who don't see their own inner light, their own inner strength. A lot of people in these environments. And so now when I'm trying to make my money and stuff like that, people they see what I'm doing. They see my light. They see my Instagram, the things that I'm trying to accomplish. They see that I'm a focused person. So they try to throw me off by, just maybe mad as fuck that I gotta leave to go to and do an audition. They're jealous about that. They're mad that I get to leave early sometimes, or they'll be mad that they'll try to make fun of you and things of that nature, thinking that you're not going to make it and stuff like that, and or just do anything to just try to put you down because they see where you're headed. And in those moments, you just got to be strong. You got to be like, there's going to be a moment where I'm going to be able to let go of this. Literally. And luckily, there was that moment where everything inside of me and in my outer reality was like, you can no longer work this job. P-Valley, I was cast on that. And even though I was on there for like 2 episodes and there was a few scenes, it took a lot of work. We worked on that for about 3 months. It takes a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. Cobra Kai. I was featured on there for maybe like a glimpse, but there was a lot of work that went into that. Right. So the job wasn't fucking with it. I'm like, God, please let this be my last time working this 9-to-5 job. And then I made a Instagram status. I'm like, y'all, I'm quitting my job. I quit my 9-to-5. I trust that from here on out, I'm going to be a full-time actor, and I'm just going to be blessed. And literally ever since then, I've just been booked. But then COVID came, that kind of put a damper on the industry, my acceleration. Right. And then we went on strike. Right. But as far as acting, there was never tough times necessarily. I haven't encountered that just yet. It's always been an uphill trajectory. It happened pretty fast. The opportunities never stopped blessing. I never got stopped being blessed in that department. But I would just say it was just difficult balancing the energies around me while I'm getting blessed like this. And my last thing I would say about that is I always recommend people to tap in with yourself, meditate. I feel like me meditating, when you meditate, there's something about after you get done meditating, when you go out into the world, you are always at the right place at the right time. Yes. Like you'll arrive. I go to the Whole Foods. I run into the casting director. Oh, I've seen one of your auditions before. Then as soon as I leave, I get an audition from that person. Or it's little things like that. Like you got this brain, this thing that we got right here is powerful. When you envision how your day is going to go, when you envision how you're going to kill an audition, when you see yourself doing something, when you see yourself before you even go to the gym, I'm going to kill this workout. Like before you even walk into this gym, imagine yourself having so much energy and stuff like that. I'm telling you, your body fulfills that command. God feels it's so much factors, but everything just works out.
You know what's crazy about what you just said, bro? It works both ways. And a lot of people deal with anxiety, and I've dealt with anxiety, overthinking situations.
Same.
And it's crazy, bro. When you do that, a lot of times that's what ends up happening. When you go in situations with a positive outlook, positive mindset, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be positive. And even if it's negative, it's like you're still okay. I can learn something from this. It's
exactly.
It's you always find if you would just have a gratitude type of mindset, you always end up finding that positive outlook. But if you have a negative outlook on everything, over anxiety type of depressed type of outlook on everything, you will find sadness in everything. That's why you can see people that are successful, successful, wealthy, but they're not happy.
They're not happy. You gotta have that happiness within yourself. Yes. Like you gotta find that within each and every single one of us. I promise there is a light and there is a soft spot. There's a place of happiness. You just gotta every day, crack the hammer to try to just find that peace within yourself. And it's easier said than done, but it can be done.
Of course. I do want to kind of remodel that situation that you had at that sushi spot. Say I was an actor. I want to be an actor. Mm-hmm. What would you say my first step is?
Like if Clifton Powell were to go in depth with me and tell me the first step?
Exactly.
The first step to be an actor is believing that you can do it. That's number one. Believing that you can do it, knowing that this is not something that you just seen other people doing and you just are like, I want to do something for the fuck of it and just going to do it. Right. No, this is an inner knowing that I can really succeed in this and I'm good, and knowing that it's going to be a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and that you're going to stay committed to this. That's number one. Number two, training, classes. That's the second step. When I first started out, I thought I was killing it. I thought I was amazing. As a rapper, I'm somebody who I'm yelling. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, fuck you, bitch. Da, 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 da. So I thought I was killing it. But no, it's not about screaming. It's not about using your powerful voice. There's power in being still and calm and things of that nature. Now, sometimes you're going to have to yell, but you gotta hone in on your craft. You gotta train. You gotta listen to the professionals. Listen to mentors. Go out and seek knowledge. That's number two. Number three would be to get your material. Now, once you get into classes, you kind of got you'll start to know your type, what type of roles you'll be good for, things of that nature. So now you need to get some professional headshots. And it's not about just taking pictures. You got to go to a headshot photographer. You can't have Jimmy down the street or your cousin Phil try to take pictures of you. It's not going to work. You got to go to a headshot acting photographer. And when you take these pictures, you have to have there needs to be a story in your mind, and that's going to reflect. The camera doesn't lie. These cameras are high definition for real. So the story that you have in your mind will reflect in the photo. So if you're a Best Buy employee, maybe think, I'm tired of fucking working at this job. That needs to be in your mind. And now that's a character shot. Or, like what my role for Earl was, BMF. Like he was kind of like a slickster. So I'm about to steal these niggas' money. Have that in your mind. And then those are good headshots. Number four, now you want to start submitting yourself on acting profiles, like Actors Access. You want to sign up for an Actors Access. You want to sign up for a casting networks. These are where you'll get acting auditions. Not to the big stuff, but these are like maybe your student films, theater plays, indie films, things of that nature. So you got to do some of those to build up your resume and get some good footage that you can create a reel with, a demo reel. Now Tyler Perry, he's actually one studio that actually will post his auditions to the public. So you don't have to have an agent to get on a Tyler Perry production. And also there's a casting director from Virginia. Her name is Erica Arvald. She's cast for a TV show called DMZ, which is a Marvel TV show. She did Mike on Hulu, the Mike Tyson, and she does really good work. That's another casting director that will sometimes put casting calls online on Actors Access. Actors Access specifically. It's not just going to be those ads on TV and the internet saying, hey, be on part of this show. Those are all scams. So yeah, you want to do some of those projects, build up your resume. Then once you have all of those materials, now it's time for you to submit to an agent. You can ask an actor that's already with an agency if they can refer you, or you can take some workshops. or sometimes there's certain classrooms that'll have a showcase every 3 months, and they'll bring in industry professionals, like casting directors, things of that nature. And so then that's how you'll get an agent. And then once you get an agent, then that's when you just get lots of auditions, and you just hope that you're fit for a project. Yeah, that's how it works.
I'm gonna be honest, that's probably the most in-depth, step-by-step recipe on how to become an actor that you would ever get anywhere, bro. And that's why I say I love this podcast, because again, it would be great to have Tyler Perry, it would be great to have Will Smith, it would be great to have these great, huge name actors on a podcast. But honestly, number one, these type of questions aren't asked. Number two, I doubt that, and I don't ever see it. They don't take the time to really go in depth, step by step, on how to make these things happen. And you gave, like, if I wanted to go home right now, I could just replay this. All right, hold on. Step one. All right, bet. All right, I need to do this. And you know exactly what direction to take. That was amazing.
I'm telling you, that's literally the steps that it took for me. Like, that's all it was. And, you know, of course, faith and, you know, reaching out to people, as far as like other actors, and say, hey, can we work on some scripts together? Or, you know, just showing up to certain situations, and then things just happen naturally. You know, it's a little bit of that too. But I mean, you don't even necessarily need the network. That's not even a big thing. I know a lot of people say, you got a network. That's not all the way what it is about. Like, it's not, that's just a small fraction. Usually the networking will just get you to be invited to certain parties and shit like that. But this is literally the blueprint and the way, things that you need to follow to really get on television and film. And everybody's acting journey is not going to look the same. You know, there's some people that's on the skits, the Kountry Wayne skits, and they have a huge fan base. They're doing amazing, but that doesn't make them less of an actor because they're not on television and film. Because that's a new wave as well. Like, and everybody's on their cell phone, so that's a form of being an actor. So yeah, it's just. But if you want to be on television and film, those steps right there, you cannot skip any of them. You skip if you cut yourself short. If you take shortcuts, you're going to cut yourself short. If you take shortcuts, you will cut yourself short. I'm telling you, every time.
That's a gem.
Do
That's a gem. What? And it's a fact. Literally, everybody wants to go fast and quick, and it's like, it sounds good. But like you said, if you take a shortcut, you just...
But the thing is, when you follow these directions and when you stay determined, it really feels like everything happens fast as fuck. Like, it really still feels like I've only lived in Atlanta for a year now. I lived here for about 6 years now, but it really feels like I've been here for a year. So when I see other actors that I've met in the beginning of my journey and they see me now, they're all like, bro, damn, I haven't seen you. I'm amazed at what you've accomplished, but it feels like I seen them yesterday. Like, it don't feel like no time is going by, but for them, they feel like so much time has passed. And I mean, it's crazy. Like, I really don't feel like I've been here long. It feels like this all happened very quickly. But I have to tell myself, Rashal, you did work hard for this. This didn't just land in your lap. You actually just stayed down and you stayed course and you did what you needed to do. So I gotta sometimes remind myself that you did work hard for this. You do belong here. You do know what you're talking about. You do belong in these spaces. So get rid of that imposter syndrome sometimes that I have.
Nah, I'm glad you even brought that up, bro, because it's hard, especially when, like you said, it's lonely, especially when you're going after your purpose. I had to learn this, like, this is my purpose. This was my idea. This was my plan. No one sent me on this mission. No one said, hey, Mike, you should go do this, and gave me the blueprint. And no, I decided I wanted to take this course. And it's like, a lot of times, because you're spending this much time by yourself and you're just working in that moment. You don't really realize how hard you're working, and you don't have anyone seeing you every day. That no one is watching you put these long hours in, saying, "Yo, bro, that's great work." Nah, you're just doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, it's amazing. I appreciate you for your time, bro.
Oh, no problem, bro.
This was phenomenal.
It's for real shit.
Before we get out of here, bro, how do people contact you? What's your socials? How do people get in touch with you?
Follow me on Instagram at Big Homie BIGG_HOMIE. That's on my Instagram. Follow the Atlanta Actors Collective. I throw some gems on there about how to excel in your acting career. On Instagram, that's Atlanta Actors Collective. You can book a session with me if you ever want to know, work with me directly to get your materials together so that you can get an agent and get yourself rolling. If you don't know how to become an actor, I do offer services like that. And yeah, that's where you can find me. That's amazing. We're on television. TV.